Tigers football, they faded East Carolina. Tigers basketball, they lose an 11-game home court winning streak. They just don't fight. Very disappointing. The Grizz keep losing, may have lost Ja for a while. They got a nationally televised game tomorrow. I can't think of a more bleak time. There's only one good story, Landon Schmidt. Do you know what that story is? Don't tell me Hawaii. Please don't tell me
No, they were on a
Hawaii.
bye in football this week.
Okay. Do you know who the good story is?
I mean, there was a few.
The best one around here.
Zach Edey's return.
No. That's nice.
I'm out. I don't know.
The women's soccer team.
Oh,
they
yes,
win the
that was going to be my next guess.
NCAA. That's all right. What a weekend. We got medals. We're going to do that in a minute. Then, Jeff Moore on the National Football League. If I'd have told you before this season started that after Week 11, the Chicago Bears would be atop the NFC Central, would you have asked me if I had taken crack or something like that?
Not since Ben Johnson, and I know his history with developing QB, so maybe a little bit.
It's an amazing story. Jeff Moore in studio. Final segment, little surprise for you. I asked him before the game last night, and he said, sure. Josh Pastner, head basketball coach, UNLV, will join us. Let me just tell you, Josh Pastner's so smart, seriously. But I also think he has got a photographic memory. So I'm setting this up. We hug in the corner. He's like unlike any other head coach who stays in the locker room in their little office until the game starts and then they come out. He was in the tunnel, really, in the arena itself, greeting everybody like he was an ambassador, hugging everybody. It was just good to catch up with him and his wife, Carrie. Now they got 5 kids. His father, Hal, was here. It was really a fun sight. So I walk down there. I get my hug. I say, hey, Josh, what do you think about being on my show tomorrow morning? He goes, okay, yeah, I'll do that. Just text me to remind me and then call me. I said, we'll do that. You still got the same cell number? He goes, yeah, I still have the same one. I go, and then he says to me, do you still have 901 blah, 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 blah? Exactly. He knew my number. Now, Josh and I have talked since he left, I'd probably say 15, 20 times, but, that's what, 9 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever it might be. 10 years ago, I think. How the heck did he know that? Because he's got a photographic memory. He knew everybody in the place, too, last night. It was fun to watch him operate. And we will chat with Josh. That will come your way at about 10:45. Here's a good story for you, Landon. You didn't even bring this up. You could have. You beat me by a game in the Pick'em contest. It's because Ole Miss was giving away 11.5, and what'd they win? By 10?
Yeah, won by 10.
You thought Florida might win that game straight up, didn't you?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
I think that was a different one. I knew it was going to be tight, and I knew that Florida was going to come out and show out, and they did in the first half, and then, stuff started to run away from them. But
I think the different one might have been Notre Dame. No.
No, we both lost on Notre Dame.
Yeah. No. Alabama, Oklahoma.
That's right.
That's the one where we both lost. Anyway, you were 3-2. I was 2-3. You inch ever closer. I'm 28-27, 1 game over 500. You at one time were like 12 games below 500. You have now moved 2 within 5. You are 25-30. There's still time. You can still make up ground. That is for sure. I sit in the Family Leisure Studios. A reminder, the hot tub, the swim spa clearance sale, the newest sale going on right now. Go see Billy, go see Lindsay. They are moving stuff right and left. That's because hot tubs start at under $2,500. In-stock patio furniture is 50. You heard me. 50% off. So If you'd gone in there a month ago, you would pay, say, $100 for something. You're paying $50. This is in-stock patio furniture. This is state-of-the-art, newest fabrics, newest designs. I mean, great stuff, half off. Please get there. Hot tub covers, they're started under $250. The cover lifts start at $99. There's always special financing available. Mention us that you heard it here. This ad. You get a free gift if you buy a hot tub. And always when they give away gifts, those are good things. They're not little cheapy things. They're good things. Just head on over I-40 and Whidden Road. See that clearance sale going on right now at Family Leisure. We do a thing, and I got plenty. On Mondays, the good, the bad, we call it precious and not so precious metals. I'm going to give a bronze medal to Adam Schenk. You know, just having a name like that and being a golfer, you got to be brave.
It's quite the combo.
It is. He won a PGA Tour event yesterday. And you know what? He's been close several times. So I give him a lot of credit. It was in the Bahamas, but by the way, that's where I'm headed. And that golf course is connected to Atlantis. Now, we're at Baja Mar, different golf course. There, it's called like the Blue Royal or something in Baja Mar. And I forget this one. I never played it, but I've been there. Beautiful. And Adam Schenk's game was beautiful because the conditions were ugly. Wind like you would not believe. He survived. He had to make about a 4.5 downhill putt. He survived. The best part about this for me, it's his first win. So he's had trials and tribulations. Married, good guy. Everybody on the tour seems to like Adam Schenk. This was his 243rd start. To stick around that long, 243 starts on the PGA Tour and never having won, yet keeping your card? Well, that's why he's in the fall series. I think this was the last of the fall series, by the way. It's pretty amazing. I'm really happy, and he deserves a bronze medal for winning his first tournament in 243 starts. Josh Allen gets a bronze medal for me. He accounted yesterday for 6 touchdowns in a win over a good team. I think Tampa's excellent. The Buffalo Bills, a little like the Kansas City Chiefs, you never know what you're going to get. They're capable of beating anybody, anytime, anywhere, and then they're capable of losing. But yesterday in Buffalo, he was pretty darn good. He gets a bronze for me. 6 touchdowns in the win over Tampa. Got to give a silver medal to the Philadelphia Eagle defense. They looked like Super Bowl champions the way they played against Detroit. Now, I know that Dan Campbell, when they beat the Bears, I think he wanted to prove it was like they got into the 50s. They beat the heck out of Chicago in Detroit. And the Bears are going to play them last game of the year. And I wonder how that'll go out. Now, maybe the matchup's bad and Detroit's just favored. But I think Dan Campbell wanted to make the point because a lot of folks thought, Dan Campbell had Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson was responsible for Detroit's great offense. And so he wanted to prove a point. And he scored 50 on the Bears. The Bears' defense has gotten better since that game, but that was pretty amazing in my mind, and it showed you what Detroit can do. They couldn't do anything against Philly last night. That's why Philly gets it. They win the game all because of their defense, and man, Jared Goff in the end looked like a scared little boy. I swear, look, if you saw some of the pictures of his face, whoo, it was like, I don't know where they're coming, but I know they're coming. I know I got to get rid of the ball fast, but I'm not sure I can. Oh, it was amazing. So he gets the Eagles defense gets a silver medal. Travis Kelce, even though Kansas City lost yesterday, I got to give him a medal because he caught another touchdown. He becomes the all-time touchdown scoring giant, juggernaut, whatever you want to say, the most touchdown ever scored by a Kansas City Chief, and that is a very proud franchise going back to championships back in the AFL. They were good. He is terrific. Did he have to sign a prenup with Taylor Swift when they got engaged?
I'm not that involved in their dating life or marriage life now.
You know what, though? I mean, she's worth like $2.6 billion or something.
It's a lot.
But he's worth $100 million.
Yeah.
So he
money's not an issue.
Yeah.
for
So,
them.
so if I were him, I'm signing the prenup. You got to sign one too.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
No, they're going to be okay if they don't make it. I hope they make it. It's a great love story. Everybody seems to be
That's a
captivated
Taylor
by it.
Swift
Not
song.
you. What?
Love Story. There's a Taylor Swift song.
Oh, it is a Taylor Swift. Well, it was a movie before you were born that was big.
Well,
Both the stars are no longer with us. Ali McGraw and Ryan O'Neal.
Well, it now lives on, I guess.
Have you ever seen Love Story?
I don't believe I have.
Okay.
No.
Well, it's a big hit. I got to give a gold medal to Texas A&M. They remain the best team in the SEC. I think they'll end up being the number 2 seed unless Ohio State were to fall. It's an unbelievable story. Texas A&M, although they're at home, they were down 30-3 at the half. Now, when I read that score, we were following it in the booth at East Carolina. I looked over at Jarvis Greer and maybe Greg Gaston, and I said, 30-3 at the half. I said, Texas A&M's going to make a run, but I think they can't get out of this hole. It's a little like Memphis falling behind the way they did against Tulane. I don't think they can come back. Well, my gosh, they did. That's why they get a gold. That was some kind of it's the greatest comeback in A&M history. And that goes back a long way, too. That's 100 years of football. And then finally, to the story you did not guess, Brooks Monaghan and the women's soccer team, their only bright note from Memphis this weekend. Everybody else losing, not Brooks Monaghan. Even with a 7 seed, they beat Illinois. They really controlled the game. It was at home. They had a record crowd. Everybody brought lawn chairs because they're going to build that Eliza Fletcher Stadium here sooner or later. But wow, I love it. Now he's got TCU on a neutral. They can win that game. And then they probably have to take on, I think it would be Vandy. But they already beat Vandy. I don't understand how you could be a 7 seed in the same region where the 1 seed you beat. But that's the NCAA. They did not give Memphis any favors. But those are my good medals.
Yeah, so we both know Hawaii football was on a bye this week, so there's not really any news to report.
Thank God.
But Hawaii basketball, on the other hand, was doing some amazing things this past weekend. Yes, Dave, they won the Rainbow Classic. They won 3 straight games against teams nobody's ever heard of before.
That's why they won.
And they capitalized it off, winning the Rainbow Classic against Utah Tech this past Saturday.
Utah Tech?
Tech. I didn't know they had a Tech.
That's sad because it used to be the Rainbow Classic. Years ago, Memphis played in it.
Yeah.
I was there. I did it. And it used to be a very prestigious tournament.
Now it's kind of like
now
a participation
Hawaii wins
trophy.
it. That just goes to because in those days, I'm not going to say they were chaminade to like they have in Maui. I'm not saying Hawaii to the Rainbow Classic was what chaminade is to Maui, but they always hosted it, and they were never the best team. They were usually down the road, right? I mean, maybe the second worst team.
Well, now Hawaii is 4-1 on the year. They're only.
Do you know who was in that classic?
Yeah.
Besides Utah Tech.
Well, it was. Golly, it was a lot of weird teams.
Okay.
It was all these A&Ms and Techs and Sal's and all this kind of stuff, but. They won 3 straight. They win the Rainbow Classic.
So they're 4-1?
4-1. Their only loss came by a 1-point loss to Oregon, first game of the year. So, not saying they're contenders, not saying they're
Oregon's
bad.
Always good.
Yeah.
Right.
So, maybe a little bit something to look at there. But there's my Hawaii thing. I had to get it out of the way real quick. Just had to mention something about them real quick. Now they're off. I'm going to give another bronze to Jeremiah Love, who went 147 yards and a touchdown in their win over Pitt. I don't know if you saw his first run of the game or one of his first runs of the game where he put a nasty spin move on the Pitt defender and sent him flying into his own guy. That's the kind of stuff you see on SportsCenter on all those things of, come on, man, like, what are we doing? This is unbelievable. Jeremiah Love looks good. Jeremiah Love has looked good, and he continued to do that. I'm going to give a bronze medal to Braxton Woodson. Not much in the passing game for Navy in him stepping up after after Navy's QB went down. But on the ground, he had a huge breakaway run for 100. He totaled 109 yards, 2 TDs in their upset against USF, which blows open the door for the college football Group of 5 12 seed. And that leads into my last bronze medal, which goes to James Madison and Alonzo Barnett, who this team is now the highest favored Group of 5 representative to make the college football playoffs, as they are now 9-1. Alonzo Barnett with 303 yards passing, 2 rushing TDs in that game. They completely dominated all facets of the game against Appalachian State this past Saturday. And now
they scored 50-something, right?
Oh, yeah, it was 55-10.
Yeah. Here's the thing. They've got to play. They're 9-1, right? So they got to play 2 more games. Both of them, I believe, are on the road. One of them is the second place team. So I don't know. I still think it's going to come out of the American, and I've kind of figured this out. I'll tell you after the medals what I kind of figured.
Yeah. So, but for right now, it's looking like James Madison might be that guy. Moving on to silver medals in actual basketball news, the BYU-UConn game that went all the way down to the wire was absolutely great. UConn looking like they were going to run away with it in the first half, looked really, really good. They had 3 guys to score 21 points. Alex Caravan, Tyrus Reed, and Silas Damari. Sorry,
Alex Caravan is still there?
He still is, and put up 21 in that game, but it was BYU's AJ DeBonza, which made this game a little bit closer than it was. 25 points total in that game. Came down to the wire, I believe. UConn only won 86-84 in that game, so really good competition there. 2 top 10 teams in that little competition. And now, the next silver medal goes to Jacoby Brissett. Even though they lost to the 49ers in pretty much spectacular fashion, Jacoby Brissett set the regular season completion record in the NFL that was previously held by Drew Bledsoe that he set in 1997, I think.
Okay.
94.
Okay.
Where he completed 45, Jacoby Brissett just completed 47 completions in a single game.
That's
not
incredible.
Not consecutive, but sure. Total completions in a game. That was incredible for Jacoby Brissett to set. I don't think anybody was expecting him to do that, and even Jacoby after the game had mentioned this is not a record he was going for. This is not a record that he necessarily enjoys having. He wants to go out there and win.
How many attempts did he have?
57. 47 out of 57. Wow. Ben Roethlisberger has the same amount of completions, but his was done in the postseason. Of course, postseason, regular season stats just don't add up. Another record-breaking performance by Bryce Young, who threw for 448 yards, set a franchise record for the Panthers passing in single-game passing yards, eclipsing Cam Newton. Huge shout-out to him in their win over Atlanta. And sorry to hear about Atlanta. I believe Michael Penix has just been ruled out for the season with an injury. So Falcons are definitely down there.
Quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers looks like a broken left wrist, not throwing at him, but don't know how long he'll be out.
Yeah, the whole NFL is just riddled with a lot of injuries. And then my last one, I'm going to give to A&M in their second half comeback against South Carolina. Marcel Reed bounced back huge in that game. This was the biggest comeback in A&M history, and it was also the biggest comeback in FBS this entire year leading up into this
incredible
point. And then my one and only gold medal, you gave him a bronze, I'm giving him a gold, because whenever you get a shootout with a great team like Tampa Bay, Josh Allen, 317 yards, 3 TDs passing, 3 TDs rushing, unbelievable performance. Got to give him a gold there.
All right, real quick. I'm going to give a rust to the Tigers' defense, and I'm talking hoops. Straight line drives, no effort. You allow a team to shoot 50, whatever it was, percent. I mean, just people going straight to the hole, points in the paint. They ended up giving up 50 points in the paint because they couldn't stop anybody from entering the darn paint. I don't know how many dunks there were. It was terrible. There was no fight. It was very frustrating if you were a Tiger fan. And then my final rust goes to Draymond Green, who was getting chided by a courtside fan who kept calling him, this is in New Orleans, kept saying, Angel Reese, because he kept missing inside easy buckets. He was off, and it PO'd him so much that he went and confronted the fan, who's a big guy, by the way. That would have been an interesting fight. he instigated it. But they didn't remove the fan because the fan never used profanity. Draymond Green did. He started using expletives against this guy, and all he did was go, Angel Reese. I don't understand how the NBA allows Draymond Green to have different rules. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. I have two quick rusts. The first one going to Calvin Ridley and the Titans. We fall to 1-9 on the season, not looking very good. And now Calvin Ridley, after coming back after a hamstring injury, or I think it was his Achilles or something like that, now has a broken fibula and he's done for the year. He didn't really contribute much to begin with, and now it's just it's anyone's game. And then my other rust, I hate giving him a rust because he's been doing so good this year, but Sam Darnold with 4 interceptions in their game and their loss against the Rams, he's getting bailed out right now by the Seahawks defense, who is performing very, very well in all facets of the game. But Sam Darnold is not really looking like the Sam Darnold of the first half of the season or when he was with the Vikings. He's looking more like a Jets and a Panthers QB right now.
Go.
So not a good look for him.
And those are our medals. Very quickly before we take a break, and Jeff Moore joins us here. Who's going to win the American? So you've got Navy, Tulane, North Texas, and ECU all with 1 loss. So I looked at schedules. All right, Navy has Memphis and then Army. I think Memphis is actually going to win that game. And I'm not saying that as a homer. I'm not a believer in Navy, although they beat USF. That was pretty impressive. That was in, what is it? It's called Navy and Marine Stadium in Annapolis. It was in Annapolis. So I don't think they'll be the team. Tulane, they are at Temple, at Charlotte. I think they're going to make it. North Texas, at Rice, at Temple. Ooh, my. If they lose a game, I'd be shocked. ECU is at UTSA. That's where people go to die. And then they finish at FAU, which is a high-scoring team. I don't think they're going to make it. I actually think it will be Tulane and North Texas. I'm not sure who will win that game because I don't know that much about North Texas. I know they beat UTSA. That was at home by a whole bunch. They can score. That quarterback had a 600 yards passing, Mestamaker. 600 yards passing. So that's how I think it'll end up. I think Tulane and North Texas will play for the American Championship. I hope somebody beats JMU. It would be terrible if the American didn't get that slot as the Group of 5 representative in the playoffs. We are sitting in the Family Leisure Studios, and I'm thinking I got to get in shape because I'm on my way to the Bahamas, and the best place to do that, I know, that's ATC Fitness. That's 18 locations, always the latest in equipment, always clean as could be. You can enjoy fun, safe workouts on always state-of-the-art training equipment, and they're all open 24/7. You can get started today. Beat all the people that are going to do it for the New Year's resolutions. Do it for yourself so you look good for the holidays. You can start today. You can enjoy unlimited use of the hydro massage chairs and tanning with the premium membership, but there's other ways to go. They've got 18 spots. They're all terrific. They're ATC Fitness. Exercise your right to look good. Jeff Moore in studio in just a minute.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Hi, friends. It's Bill Russell at Russell Brothers Fine Jewelers. The seasons have changed, and fall is my favorite time of the year. Fall means that Christmas is right around the corner, and we all start preparing for that most wonderful time of the year. All families have their own traditions, and they bring so much joy. And a part of that joy comes in giving gifts to those we love. For over 5 decades, Russell Brothers Jewelers has been the source of many of the most beautiful gifts ladies in Memphis have ever seen. Gifts that are cherished and frequently handed down from one generation to the next. Gentlemen, as you think about a gift for your special lady this Christmas or any time, I hope you will think about Russell Brothers Jewelers. Beauty, value, quality, and service are our hallmarks at Russell Brothers. This Christmas, come see us at Russell Brothers. We will help make you the best St. Nick ever. Russell Brothers Fine Jewelers, 4646 Poplar at Perkins.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. Do you know what Penny Hardaway and I have in common? We should both be in that building celebrating the best basketball players of all time. Of course, I'll have to buy a ticket to get in, but he should already be there. But seriously, we both surround ourselves with the best people we can find. We work hard to achieve our goals, and we are both among the best in our respective fields. At Fiveash, we can't win titles or get national awards, but what we can and do strive to do is give 100% of ourselves to give you the best product possible and one you can be proud of. So if you need a roof, siding, or gutters, give us a call at 901-367-0050, and we will do everything we can to provide you the best of everything. Fiveash Roofing. Fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Now back to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56. Here once again is the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
We talk NFL with our man Jeff Moore. You could say he is the Cadillac of those that cover NFL. He's been doing it for over 30 years with us, and he's brought to you by Landers of Cadillac. And you know the wait is finally over. The grand opening of the newly remodeled Landers Cadillac of Memphis is here, and with that unveiling of this beautiful redo is beautiful prices. You can shop grand opening savings on all the remaining 2024 Escalades, the brand new ones. They are $20,000 in total savings, and Landers Cadillac of Memphis is paying top dollar for trades. See how much you can save with the Landers Easy Pass at CadillacofMemphis.com. Just go online, look up Easy Pass. You'll start saving money, and don't miss out on exceptional grand opening offers. The best new Cadillac models are going to sell fast, so get there. And remember, if it doesn't say Landers, you paid too much. Good morning. I know, Jeff, you were in Knoxville. You saw a bunch of old teammates, and your Volunteers ripped apart. Well, come on, they're playing New Mexico State, for goodness sake.
Yeah. I mean, those are the type of games that you want to schedule for homecoming. But they look good, and they should look good in those games. The next 2 games will really be telling. I am really looking forward to seeing what the Vanderbilt matchup is going to be like. But, yeah, it was a great weekend. Great to see some of my old teammates.
All right. Crazy stuff, as always. That's what happens with the NFL. Buffalo looked good again. They took down the Bucs. Josh Allen was in on 6 touchdowns. But like Kansas City, they're so weird. They can win anywhere. They can lose anytime, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, Denver's a fascinating team.
Oh,
I mean,
9-2.
Won 8 games in a row. Bo Nix, a little inconsistent in times, but when they need him to be better than good, he has been that. He made some great throws in that winning drive. And they've given notice to the Chiefs. They're going to win that division this year, and the Chiefs they have no margin for error. They've got to win out to, I think, make the playoffs.
Sean Payton is amazing. Is it his system, or is it Bo Nix?
It's his system. I think it's his system, but you do have to have the right quarterback for his system.
I mean, was Drew Bledsoe great, or was that because of Sean Payton's system too? Is that a fair question?
It is a fair question, and Drew Bledsoe was a pretty good quarterback. He just was better in Sean's system. I just think he's a really good, underrated coach that does a really good job when he gets the right quarterback.
Kansas City is 500. At 5-5, I was looking this up. Their chances are 50-50 on whether you make the playoffs. Only 2 teams that were 5-5 have ever gone to the Super Bowl. So they're in a hole. As we mentioned, they're inconsistent. Travis Kelce does get the record for the most touchdowns ever by a Chief, which is pretty amazing how storied that thing is. But Patrick Mahomes just talked about inconsistency, and it starts with him. What is their problem? I mean, I think they're better than they were a couple of years ago, and yet they're not playing like that.
Well, I think the biggest thing is that when teams line up against the Chiefs, they no longer have the psychological edge that they had before. Teams believe they can beat them. Last year, they were winning these one-score games. I think they won 10 one-score games. They're 0-5 this year in these close games. And they're a good football team. They're just not a great team like they used to be. We thought when they got their receivers back healthy that they were getting ready to start really dominating offensively again. They're not. I mean, teams just line up against them and realize if they hang in there and play them tough, they can beat them.
You're right about the one-score games. Every one of their losses has been by one score. So it could be a different way, but it's not.
It's not.
They're 5-5. The Philadelphia Eagles defense was the most impressive, and there were a lot of incredible performances this weekend. That's the best one. They took a Detroit team that I know can be a juggernaut. They made Jared Goff look scared. They kept coming at him, and they could do nothing, and the Eagles really look like the Super Bowl champions. On defense.
Yeah, I was going to say, defensively, they really played well last night. Those were some adverse conditions for a quarterback. It's cold, it's windy, and Jared Goff had some throws that were off. I think the biggest credit for me was that they really shut down that running game. And to me, that's really the strength of Detroit. When they're running the ball well, it really opens things up for Jared Goff. And you know, the Eagles, I have to give them credit. I mean, winning ugly is not necessarily something that's going to get people thinking you're the greatest team ever, but they know how to win, and there's something to that.
Since you mentioned Detroit, and now they've struggled, they're 6-4 now. I have to say this: for the first time, and I think it's 7 years, the Chicago Bears are atop the very tough NFC North, the black and blue division. Caleb Williams, although he didn't quite engineer it, but they have a last-second comeback on a Cairo Santos 48-yard field goal after he'd missed earlier in the game. And the Bears beat Minnesota to even up their series with them. The Chicago Bears should have beat them in Soldier Field, first game of the year, didn't they? McCarthy actually played good in one quarter and won the game. He didn't look so good yesterday. Two picks. The Bears' defense is getting better. And the Bears outlast Minnesota, so they are up a game on Detroit, a half a game on Green Bay. I don't know how long it'll last. They play Pittsburgh this week. We'll get into that in a second. But are the Chicago Bears for real? I keep hearing people go, look at their schedule and all this stuff. I don't care. They've got 7 wins out of 10 games.
Hey, man, it's tough to get a W in the NFL. I'm so excited and delighted about the Bears. And what I love to see is when a coach goes in and changes the culture of a team that has been down for a long time, the way the Bears have. They run through a lot of quarterbacks. Caleb Williams is the real deal. I mean, as he gets more help in their running game and their receiver core, he's just going to be that much better. But their culture, they believe when they line up they can win, and that goes a long way, I think, in the NFL, and I'm excited about what they did. They are for real as far as I'm concerned. That 7 wins is 7 wins.
And now they've got the Pittsburgh Steelers, that game in Chicago next week. Aaron Rodgers appears to have a broken left wrist, a slight break. It's his non-throwing hand or wrist. I have no idea if he'll be able to play or not. Mason Rudolph did a pretty good job. They beat Cincinnati yesterday. Kenny Gainwell caught a touchdown in that game. Calvin Austin was good in that game. Yeah. So a lot of Memphis ties to the Pittsburgh Steelers. But without Aaron Rodgers, who would you favor in that game? I know the line is already Chicago by 3.
I like the Bears at home in that game. I believe whether it's Aaron Rodgers or his backup, they're going to bring pressure. I think the Bears now are not only a young, talented team, but they're a team that believes they can win, and they've won close games, and that goes a long way, particularly when you're at home and particularly when you have a really good quarterback.
Now, the Bengals got Flacco, a pretty good quarterback. That's disastrous for Cleveland. I don't know what they're doing there. They let Flacco go. They went with Dylan Gabriel. They had him concussed in the first half. So Shedeur Sanders has to come in. There was a lot of controversy. Sanders dropping from the first round to the fifth round. Is he really good? Are they picking on Dion because of his attitude and all that other stuff? Here's the numbers. 4 of 16, 47 yards, threw a pick, took 2 sacks. Not a very good start for Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, I mean, he's a rookie. He's a rookie that never took a snap with the first team. You're playing at night. You're going in under adverse circumstances. I think Shedeur is a good backup quarterback. For me, he's never shown me that he was a good starter. He holds the ball too long. His arm talent is kind of average to me. I'm a big fan of him and his dad's, but, football to me, he's an average quarterback at best, a backup quarterback at best. I hope he can help them going forward until Dylan Gabriel can come back. But it was just a tough situation for him to go in, especially when he's not had to work with the starters.
Yeah, I think Cleveland's just a nightmare at this point in the season, and I don't see it getting any better.
I don't think so either. I mean, they've got an incredible defense. Man, if they had an offense that could muster anything. 16 points a game, they'd be tough to beat, but they don't.
We mentioned 5-5, how tough it is. It looks to me like Baltimore keeps getting better, though. They're now at 5-5. They're going to make the playoffs?
They are. They continue to trend upward. They continue to get guys back that have been hurt. They're one game behind the Steelers, and the Steelers still have a pretty tough schedule going forward.
No, especially if the Bears beat them in Chicago next Sunday. All right, Week 11 done. We've talked about some prizes. What are the 2 things that stick out the most for you that define 2025 in the National Football League?
Parity. There's no dominant team in the AFC. There's no dominant team in the NFC. It's exciting to see teams like Denver rise up. It's the Patriots being able to turn it around and take over the AFC East. Even though Buffalo is there, and Buffalo is going to be a playoff factor, again, a coach that goes in and changes the culture of the Patriots to where
Mike Vrabel. And look at those Titans now.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's been the greatest surprise to me, is to see teams that have been struggling make that kind of 100-degree turn.
All right, so almost 2/3 of the way through. If you had to pick a Super Bowl, I won't hold you to it.
Okay.
Because it's tough. I think, as you mentioned, parity is the name of the game here. Pick out your Super Bowl.
Man, it's in the NFC. I'm still gonna go with Philly.
I would
till
too.
Somebody beats them. They're the champs.
Would. Why not? The way they played defense yesterday, I would. Now, if they don't get Barkley running, I don't know how good their offense is. I just don't trust Jalen Hurts. I should, but I don't. I like him, but I don't trust the offense. But you know what? I mean, it's a cliche. It's an old saying, defense wins titles, but I believe that. So I'm with you on that one. And I know who in the AFC. Don't tell me Denver. They're not making it with.
I'm not going to say Denver, but I like the Patriots, man. I like.
Really, Drake May?
I like the Patriots. Drake May is really throwing the ball. He's really been effective throwing the ball deep. And this is a team that believes they can win, and they've got really good coaching, especially offensive coaching and defensive coaching. Right now, I'd have to go with the Patriots.
I would say this: if they keep winning and they get there, Drake May will be the MVP of the AFC. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
And Vrabel will be coach of the year. As always, my friend, thank you much. Good to see you.
Yes, sir.
We'll do this again next week. We appreciate you. That is Jeff Moore on the National Football League. He's brought to you by Southern Security. Are you getting the lowest possible rate on your mortgage? At Southern Security, they offer low rates, flexible terms, no PMI, and, of course, the best service. They got a brand new branch. It's opened up in Collierville. We're going to be out there for the grand opening on December the 15th. You got to check it out. It is so cool. And if you want to be a part of the family, you can easily get all the info you need online at southernsecurity.org or by calling and talking to a human being at 901-452-7900. Southern Security is an equal housing lender, federally insured by NCUA. They have been the #1 credit union in the last 6 years. Voted by you. Southern Security. That's your home team credit union. We're back in a minute. We're going to head to Vegas. We're going to talk to Josh Pastner. He's got to be in seventh heaven. He comes your way in just a minute.
You have opinions?
I think it's over.
Of course you do.
I don't think it's that simple.
Everyone does.
I got all the answers.
Hit us up on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line at 360-8255.
Hey, Marty McNate at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown. I hear the Volkswagen deal days are on during the Sign Then Drive sales event.
That's right, Randy. 0 down payment, 0 security deposit, 0 first month payment, and 0 do it signing now available. Plus, take your pick. 2025 Jetta Sport or 2025 Taos S, $199 a month.
And you were telling me about that 2025 Volkswagen ID Buzz First Edition all-wheel drive. $10,000 off.
Don't miss out on the Sign Then Drive sales event. 0 down payment, 0 security deposit, 0 first month payment, 0 do it signing now available. So come see me, Marty McNate at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, 7420 Winchester Road, or shop online at GossettVWG.com. And remember, your future is what you make it.
That's Gossett Volkswagen, 7420 Winchester Road.
Taos SMO 56598, MSRP 27011, Jetta SMO 851138, MSRP 25916, Buzz SHO 19804, MSRP 72835, $2,500 rebate, $7,500 Gossett discount plus finance through Volkswagen Financial Services, includes all rebates and incentives, excludes tax on license for the approved credit dealers, not only see to complete details, offer valid through 11/30/25.
NST's been taking down insurance giants for over 35 years. Big firm power with hometown heart? Yeah, they don't play. It's that combination that has helped them win billions for their clients. NST is the way to go. Call 683-7000.
This holiday season is short. Make every moment magical with a trip to Sissy's Log Cabin. Here, you'll take all your festive looks to the next level and find gifts to wow every one of your family and friends. Discover our unmatched quality, brilliant natural diamonds, and spectacular service when you shop in store or online at sissyslogcabin.com. Make this the most wonderful time of the year with a trip to Sissy's Log Cabin, because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
Hi, I'm Glenda Hastings, owner of Napa Cafe, and I'm inviting you over for dinner. Treat yourself tonight with a delightful dinner of scrumptious combinations, fresh salads, homemade soups, or maybe start with an appetizer, like our baked Dungeness crab dip with manchego cheese, lemon, garlic, and French baguette toast. Drift into one of our fresh seafood dishes, like the caramelized sea scallops with curry beurre blanc, black forbidden rice, and Thai mango salad, or our ancho honey glazed salmon with creamy black bean puree, avocado pico de gallo, and jalapeno crema. Maybe you're looking for something cozy and comforting, like our Duroc pork chop with apple brandy demi-glaze and blue cheese bacon mashed potatoes. We have something for everyone. Napa Cafe, open Wednesday through Saturday for dinner starting at 5 o'clock. For reservations, visit our website at napacafe.com. Come join us. I'd sure love to see you.
Congratulations to Napa Cafe, celebrating 27 years of great food and service for you. Napa Cafe.
Now back to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56. Here once again is the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
Oh, we're headed to Vegas in a minute to talk to Josh Pastner. He's brought to you by the commissary, both Germantown and Collierville, as voted by you in the Commercial Appeal Barbecue Tournament that they had in the paper. #1. You said it, and right now, it's time for the holiday birds or ham. You know about the whole turkey or hams that you can get. They're just incredible. When you go to either of the commissaries in Germantown, the original, or the one in Collierville, right there at Poplar and Houston Levy Road, you can get a whole turkey or a ham, $79.95. That small one feeds 8 to 10. If you want to go bigger, 18 to 20 pounds, you can spend $199.95. Everything is there with it. It includes sides. If you want just more sides on the side, pints of gravy, quarts of dressing, their famous sweet potato casserole, you can get those too. You want to be the hit of your holiday party? You go to either commissary. That's Germantown or Collierville. We go to Vegas, and there's got to be a big smile, a beaming smile, I would say, on the face of Josh Pastner. That was one heck of a reunion and a heck of a win for you last night over the Tigers. Good morning.
Dave, good morning. Yeah, it was great to be back in Memphis, Dave. It's great to see everybody. Dave, you know this. I mean, I love my time in Memphis, love being the coach of the Tigers. Yes, there were some highs, a few lows. I mean, it was the intensity of the job, but I loved every second of it. Great to be back with the people. I'm so grateful and appreciative of that nice the video tribute deal they had there right before the game, and obviously the crowd the ovation was special. So God bless everyone. God bless Memphis. I'm a big there's not a bigger fan of that city than myself and the people there, and I'm forever grateful and forever indebted to that place. And you know how I feel about that place, Dave.
I loved it too, by the way. That most coaches stay in their locker room, in their little offices until game time. They come out and they get cheered or they get jeered, whatever it may be. You came out into the tunnel and you greeted everybody. And I got to ask you, have you got a photographic memory? You remembered my phone number. That blew me away right there. You knew every single face. You hugged every single person, whether it was a security guard, an usher, or a fan that you saw at courtside for all those years. It was really special the way that worked. What brought you out there? Do you do that all the time?
You know what? I don't do that all the time, but I very rarely have I coached anywhere else, when we play somebody, and I knew this was a special place, and I didn't want to, do we want to win the game and be prepared and all that, but also at the same point, the experience because of the time I was there and the friendships and the people, and I wanted to see everyone and I wanted to hug everybody and I was filled with joy just seeing everyone. And look, we won the game, so that made it that was really cool. But take that out for a second. It was just awesome, just being back there and seeing everybody that I was there during those time periods, and it was just special. So I wanted to not take it for granted, that experience, to be there, and that's why I wanted to be out there. So seeing whether it was the security, the ushers, people in the down below, I mean the people working the concessions, I mean like you said, to the front row. I mean it was really, really cool, Dave, and it was an experience that I'll never forget. And I was so happy that my family, my wife and kids were able to be with me as well too and experience that. And it was just an emotional day overall.
Two stories on that. I talked to Carrie, your wife, and she said, I have had a child in every city that we've lived in, but I told him not one in Vegas.
Well, I did tell her that, never say never. Even though we're getting older, I would have 5 more kids, but she's stay away from me.
Well, she's had 5 kids. She looks like she's 27 and she's had 5 kids. She looks fantastic. The other story is your father. We reminisced about the story with you and the meeting with R.C. Johnson and your phone call from John Calipari about taking that job because you're fired here. I mean, that was all good stuff, too. Do you think about that very much, or is it moments like that that just bring it out?
No, I mean, moments like that bring it out, Dave. But you think about it here and there and how you got to the point to even be the UNLV basketball coach, because I wouldn't be the UNLV basketball coach without the opportunity from Coach Calipari and R.C. Johnson and then having the run at Memphis. And so you sometimes stop and pinch yourself and think about it, but it really magnified when the days like yesterday happened, and it was just it was special, and it's just a great place there, and I tell everyone all the time, unless you live there or coached there or been part of that community, I mean, people really don't understand how intense that job is and how wonderful of a job it is. And so I was blessed to have sat in that chair for 7 years.
I'm avoiding the game. I promise you I'll get to it. But I do want to ask you how much you like TV. You groomed yourself and bloomed as an analyst in that studio. I mean, you really came on. I remember our interviews early on in your career, and they were nothing like you were doing at ESPN. Did you like that work? And was the lure of coaching just too much to turn down?
Well, Dave, all of our pregame interviews and postgame interviews and the times I was on radio with you helped me to become good in TV. And I mean that. I mean, you know, obviously we were together a long time, you and I. I love television, and I worked for 4 great networks. Think about it. I worked for ESPN, in studio on ESPN, which is really, really hard to get. In Turner, so I did Turner with the NCAA tournament.
Yeah,
then
that's right.
I did NBC and for Big Ten basketball, and then I did CBS Sports Network at times. So
wow, I didn't realize that's hard to do.
Yeah.
4 different networks.
Yeah,
wow.
And so I got to be with different producers, different bosses, different colleagues. It was a great experience. I loved my time in television. And look, the bosses liked me. I mean, I was in a good, path. And Dave, those spots I had are really hard to get. Like they're like getting a head coaching job.
Right,
you know what I'm
right,
saying? I mean,
yeah.
they're hard to get. And so for me to leave that, because I knew those positions I had were very, it's just they're like I said, it's like getting a head coaching job. It's so hard to get those spots. It was going to have to be something special for me to leave that to be able to go back to coaching again. And obviously when the UNLV job opened up, and it's like the Memphis job, the tradition, the history that you just I couldn't say no to it. I would have kicked myself, so I jumped on it. But there's no question I love TV. Now, I did, when we lost one of our first games, I did say walking out, I said, man, it'd be much better being in studio with Seth Greenberg right now than losing. So I did say that's a lot. I mean, because, I start carrying that stress again. You start not sleeping, all those type of things that go with it. But I'm really happy coaching again. But yes, TV was outstanding. And you know what, Dave, you know this. It's not as easy as people think, because when you have something in your ear and they're telling you, you 7, 6, 5, we're going to commercial.
Right.
To be able to dismount and get out of your thought is not easy, and to be able to say what you need to say and have it resonated with the viewer, and then to understand that yes, you know what you're talking about, but also put it in terms that it's not me and Mike Krzyzewski talking or John Calipari talking. I'm talking to the fan that he or she's got to know what I'm talking about, but I got to put it in terms where it's understandable at the same time. And so it's an art when you think about it in the big picture.
And you did master it. That was great. Of course, later in life you can do that if you want to. Now you got to tell me, how in the world did this UNLV team that spanked the Tigers last night, how did that team lose to UT Martin and to Montana? Just tell me that.
Well, here's what I would tell you, Dave. First of all, taking over this job, it's a rebuild. I mean, I took over, and when I walked into the time when I got the job, I had no players on my roster, 0. So we had to go sign 13 new players. I mean, literally, we had nobody. And so you're trying to establish what's going on. You sign 13 new players. Everybody's new. That's 1. 2, we've been dealing with more injuries than I've ever dealt before in the history of mankind. I mean, my starting point guard's out, my starting center's out, my 2 starting centers are out. I've had 2 good centers, and they're both out. My starting point guard's out. The kid, the young kid, the freshman kid who had the big shooting night yesterday, Isaac Williamson, he was out all year long until just the last week. And then my other kid, Tyron Jones, had missed 3.5 months because of a shoulder. And so the challenging part is we get our team back here or there, and you're trying to figure it out on the fly, and it's hard to do. And so I had told everybody, hey, in year 1 here, we've got to establish our culture, and 2, there's going to be some rocky times up and down because our team is such with injuries and the newness of everything. You just got to give us some time. But I've said once we get to Mountain West Conference play, I do think we're going to be good. I really do believe that. I just think that it's just going to take us some time. There's going to be ups and downs, and that was one of the things. We just struggled early because we were trying to find out who we were. Like I was putting in guys who've practiced 2 or 3 days and had him practice for 3 months, and you're trying to put out. You're just kind of all out of sorts. And when you don't have your point guards and your starting centers, it makes it really hard too. I don't care who you're playing.
Yeah.
It would be like not having your quarterback. And so we're just still a work in progress, and I think we'll get better as each time we step on the floor.
All right, you've 1 minute, and I know you know what that means now. Tell me what you think about the NIL era and the portal era. You can build the team quick if you spend the money wisely.
Yeah, I mean, part of it, you got to spend the money wisely, and you got to have the money. Obviously,
Right.
When I came in here, our budget was pretty much already set, so I've had to go out and fundraise. A lot of that's for 26, 27, not as much for this current year, but it is what it is. You can't be upset about it or complain about it because it's not going anywhere. You got to figure it out. You got to accept it and deal with it. And I don't mind it because it just takes out the gray area, as in terms you don't have to waste time. You have 2 to 3 weeks in recruiting. You figure out if the agent and the player, they're not in your ballpark financially, you just move to the next guy. I actually think it's way more efficient than ever before. It's just a different time period.
Wow, you did that on the money, my friend. Your TV training has been spectacular. I congratulate you.
Dave, usually I've been going another 3 minutes. You know how I used to be a filibuster, Dave.
I know it. Well, I thought you were going to say winning is hard, but you didn't.
Winning is hard. Everybody's good. Everybody's well coached. Everybody's got good players.
I love you, Josh Pastner. I got to go. We'll do it again soon. Congratulations on everything, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Okay, thanks, Dave. Love
Thank
you too.
That is Josh Pastner. He is now the head man at UNLV. He's got that thing going in the right direction, and that's without all the NIL money that he's got for next year. It's a good story. It really is. He's brought to you by Sheldon. We're in the middle of the holiday season. Everyone's mind is shifting into eating, buying, receiving gifts, hunting, not buying houses. Well, you should, because my guy has done it before. He has sold homes on the day before Thanksgiving, on Christmas Eve, on Thanksgiving Day, then again on New Year's Day. He's done it. The real estate market does not shut down for the holidays with the inventory being lower, the interest rates being stable. It could be your time and maybe the best time, because if you wait till spring, the azaleas bloom, but so do the real estate signs. So if you're thinking of selling, you got to talk to 2 or 3 people. Just make sure my guy Sheldon is one of them. You can reach him 24/7, even on holidays, because the guy works consistently, and he's got a strategic marketing program that makes you more, and it gets you your money quicker. All you got to do is call 483-0546 or go to the website. It says it all, memphisrelocate.com, memphisrelocate.com, or 483-0546. Call Sheldon. Call him now. That'll do it for us. I'll talk to you tomorrow morning from the Bahamas. The Bahama Resort. I've not been there. I'm about to check it out. We'll chat tomorrow. Johnny Radio's next.